Is it good for guys to do this when they are single and need to release themselves? And by this, he means masturbation. I heard some research that doing too much might not be good for our prostate. I always believe doing it with a real person is the best in terms of health, but sometimes at the spur of the moment, you just need to release yourself. Or do you have any ideas to masturbate? Or maybe know of anyone who could assist me in releasing myself properly? I'm not going to mention the name. And this is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality, and I'm from Eros Coaching. So there are several parts to this question, as you can tell. And so I'm just going to answer them part by part. Regardless of whether you are single or regardless of your gender and sexual orientation, if you feel you need to release yourself, then you should release yourself. If you feel you're hungry, you should eat. If you feel you're tired, you should sleep. If you feel horny and you want to release yourself, you should release yourself. And I'm using your vocabulary of releasing yourself to mean to masturbate to ejaculation. And just because you're single does not mean that you shouldn't. So I know that what you are actually saying is your belief. I always believe doing it with a real person is the best in terms of health. This is your belief. It certainly feels different when you're by yourself and with someone. And when you're with someone, of course, it feels different and in fact can feel better. And so just because it feels different and may feel better, it doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot, and doesn't necessarily mean that it's best in terms of health. If you're more horny because there's someone there, you might feel more excited. You might feel that you are orgasming faster, and perhaps you are ejaculating more in terms of ejaculation volume. It doesn't necessarily mean that masturbating by yourself is not beneficial or harmful. This is definitely not true. So is it the best in terms of health? I am not sure whether it is the best in terms of health. I would say that would I recommend that you must find a person if you don't have a person? I would say no. It's much better to learn and cherish whichever stage of your life you're at. And sometimes being by someone is not necessarily the most beneficial thing, especially if you are acting out or just finding someone or becoming mechanical about it, or just treating the person as a gratification object. And it's not that it's a bad thing, it's just that for the sake of doing this, how about learning and appreciating different skills and having different kinds of sexual experiences, appreciating your sexuality, going deeper with yourself. These are different things that you can do when you're masturbating by yourself. Okay, having heard some research that doing too much might not be good for our prostate. I don't know what research you are referring to. From the research that I've come across, and in fact, many medical doctors are suggesting that people with penises and prostate, I'm talking about the male prostate, research has shown that actually people with prostate should ejaculate at least once a week. That's once a week. They believe it's healthy for your prostate. And so I'm not sure what research you're referring to. And because you didn't mention, so I'm going to say your research and my research is different. So I don't know which research you're referring to, and it would be useful if you actually mention it and send it to me. And some research is not, as you know, as credible, and some research could just be hearsay. So I'm not sure. Okay, so I answered that question, sentence or statement, and also address what you were saying, like best in terms of health. Do we really need the best in everything? Do we need the best food, the best house, the best this, best that? Sometimes what you consider as suboptimum is actually still beneficial for you. It's just different. Do we really need to go for the best all the time, as if best is you know, what we should be doing all the time? And okay, sometimes at the spur of the moment you just need to release yourself. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That you need to release yourself. It sounds like you're thinking masturbation is a bad thing. And do you have any ideas to masturbate? Yes. As you probably know, I have a book. I have two books. One in particular, Orgasmic Yoga, is all about masturbation. It is. And it talks about the link between masturbation, meditation, and what's in between. And essentially, the book is about mindful masturbation. So do I have any ideas to masturbate? I'm not sure you're asking me this question because I have tons of videos on masturbation on my website, including how to masturbate. And you can definitely check that out. Go to my YouTube if you're not on YouTube. And also you can sign up for my Masturbation Month campaign. That's eroscoaching.com/masturbation month. Everything there is free. I've been having this campaign for quite a number of years, so I've been adding resources to it. So there are at least 15 free videos that you can watch pertaining to masturbation, including how you can masturbate. Okay, do you know anyone who can assist me in releasing myself properly? The one I can recommend you, who can assist you in releasing yourself, is you. You can help yourself. And you can claim your body. You can learn about your sexuality, and you can go deeper with yourself even when you think you know everything about yourself or your body. You're probably just masturbating in the same way, and therefore not necessarily learning any skills. Even if I knew someone who can assist you, first of all, I don't know where you are at. And the next thing is, I'm not a pimp. I'm a sex educator. I'm not a pimp. So you're asking the wrong person. But if you are interested to have some body-based work, and you really want to learn some new skills, and you want to work with somebody who can work with you in person, do check out. I know I just said I'm not a pimp. Do check out Sexological Body Workers. Check out these people who are trained to work with people hands-on, who are ethical, who actually, as far as I know, and I pretty much am quite sure about this, that they still don't engage in penetrative sex with their clients. They're educators, they lend you their hands, and they take you through sexual learning experiences. So you can definitely check out Sexological Body Workers. So I've answered that question, and this is Martha of Eros Coaching, and you can email me your questions at ask@eroscoaching.com. If you want me to answer your question, you have to email me at ask@eroscoaching.com, because I'm a sexologist and my services are chargeable. I do provide Skype coaching sessions, and I do answer sex questions. However, I'm doing these videos for free. So if you want your questions to be answered via a video for free, you need to email me at ask@eroscoaching.com. So thank you for watching this, and I hope it was beneficial. And leave me a comment and or email me.